Behind me is the artist arena, and for 4 days this was the most important place in the tech world. Web Summit 2025 brought thousands of people together from across the globe. They came to share ideas, meet new partners, and talk about the future of technology. The movement worked in, you could feel the excitement. People were talking, connecting, and dreaming big. Startups were presenting their ideas. Investors were looking for the next big opportunity. It was a busy, lively, and inspiring place to be. Now that Web Summit 2025 is coming to a close, the big question is, what does it leave behind? The scale of this year's summit was simply enormous. More than 71,000 people attended, a new record. Nearly 1,900 investors from 157 countries participated, an 84% increase from the last year. And for the first time, 82 government delegations attended, the highest number ever. Key sessions focused on artificial intelligence, Europe's digital future, and a special China summit that drew large curious crowds.
Firsthand, the transformation in China over the last 10 years is incredible. I got to visit many of the primary cities in China: Hangzhou, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and of course Beijing. I had the opportunity, working with the Ministry of Commerce, to meet many of the leading companies in China. Unitree, one of whom, or two of their robots are just behind you, Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, BYD, and so many incredible companies. I think it's very difficult to deny or ignore the achievements of China, not just over the last decade, but even in the last year.
Web Summit founder and CEO Paddy Cosgrave called this the best edition in the event's history. Replying to a question, he said his job is to bring the best people in the world to Lisbon, and that rise in private jets is simply a sign that important people are coming. He sees it as a positive indicator, not a problem.
Private jet requests were up 70% in a year. I think that's a good thing. I know he's the Minister for Infrastructure, so the planes were turned away. He doesn't, wants that not to happen. Personally, I think it's the best thing ever. His job is to ensure the infrastructure is perfect. My job is to get the best people in the world to Lisbon, and you can define what the best people are, but I think this is one of many indicators of something interesting or positive.
Looking ahead, Cosgrave confirmed the China-focused start of the summit will return next year. He described China as a dominant force in artificial intelligence and said it would be wrong for European businesses to ignore a market of 1.3 billion people. He even indicated that Web Summit could one day hold an event in China itself, similar to its existing summit in Latin America and the Middle East.
European companies can't ignore a market with 1.3 billion people, and they want to be there. And I think if you're a Chinese company, this is the single largest, most affluent market in the world, and we shouldn't forget that as Europeans. There's 500 million plus people. Huge middle class, the largest concentration of middle class kind of in the world. And despite what I read in X from Americans about how Europe is falling apart and it's just, destitute people everywhere, I walk around, I walk around Lisbon, I walk around Porto, Faro. Things are not so bad. I walk around San Francisco, and it's like, it's a dystopian city. And I'm quite positive on Europe. I'm quite positive longer term on our relationship with China.
As for the summit long-term home, Lisbon's contract runs until 2028. Cosgrave praised the city warmly and hinted at plans for a larger new panel, but the rumors of a possible move to Poland after 2028 have not gone away, as Warsaw actively promotes itself as Europe's next big technology hub.
By 2029, we either stay in Lisbon and we're here till 2028. I should clarify my remarks, and either it's in 2029 that we would be in a new situation, either in Lisbon or somewhere else.
Web Summit is expected to return to Lisbon next year. Organizers said planning for 2026 is already underway, with an even greater focus on artificial intelligence and global investment. Web Summit 2025 closed not just with impressive numbers but with a lasting sense of possibility. In this creative, energetic environment, barriers broke down and new stories began. Lisbon and Web Summit team have once again shown they can host the world's brightest minds with a passion and vision. The future of tech looks brighter and more connected than ever. Humayun Kabir, Today's One News 24, Lisbon, Portugal.